What up everybody, Bonzo here, and today I'm making a video about my biggest tower regrets. And the reason why I want to make this video right now is because as I get into Legends and I've started getting keys and I've got some significant stone purchases coming up with the Black Friday sale, I'm looking back on things and I'm thinking, you know what? I wish I would have done a few things differently. P.S. Don't mind the blue on my lip. I'm taking a detox supplement called methylene blue, so hope it doesn't distract you too much, but let's get into the video. So I talked about this a bit on my live last night, and this will be a relatively quick video. The purpose for me making this is sharing just some regrets that I have, and I really want you guys to comment your biggest regret. I want this video to be geared towards mostly beginner players, because I know there's a lack of content out there for beginner players, and these are just pieces of advice I wish I would have known early on to then help me progress. So the first regret that I have is upgrading my black hole cooldown without getting Death Wave and Golden Tower cooldown in sync. So I got, I think, Golden Tower first. I also got Death Wave and Black Hole pretty quick. However, I saw that, oh, I can upgrade Black Hole pretty cheap, and it's already 3 minutes 20 seconds. Let's do that. So I took it all the way down to 2 minutes. And then I started realizing, wait a second. Everyone is saying online to get your Death Wave, Golden Tower, Black Hole all in sync. And I'm looking at, like, showing you here, I've got now 50 seconds. So it's full time. My Golden Tower is at 100 seconds, 1 minute 40. Then my Death Wave is also 1 minute and 40. So I've got it pretty well set there because the Black Hole is permanent, Death Wave GT every 100 seconds. So I get good coins because everything goes off at the same time. My Golden Bot does too. But because I spent so many stones upgrading my Black Hole cooldown, it really set me back quite a bit. So my advice to you is when you unlock Black Hole, just don't touch it. Don't touch it. Unlock Death Wave, unlock GT, and just put your stones only into Death Wave and Golden Tower cooldown to get it all in line at 3 minutes and 20 seconds. And then start upgrading the duration, the bonus, the waves, all that. I believe it's roughly like 1,100 stones, I think, total between the two to get the cooldowns on Death Wave and GT down to 3 minutes and 20 seconds. Don't quote me on that, but that's the most important thing, is getting those in sync, and it's something that I wish I would have done earlier. I had to fix it by buying stone packs, regrettably. So number two is I wish I would have slowed down and used the Reddit more. So Discord has a ton of good information, but it's really, really fast paced. So like, you'll ask a question, you might not see it get answered. Someone will reply, you have to click through. I just don't like the UI of Discord. So what I do now, and if you're on Reddit, my username's the same, it's Bonzo's Tower, check me out. You'll see that I post questions fairly often. Like, I'm actually going to post a question right after this. Ask what level CF Plus is at. The reason why I'm going to ask that is I'm curious to know how many levels I should get into my Chronofield Plus with my uncupping stones from Black Friday. And there's so much good information, especially on the Reddit. And you'll notice that the community is very nice and helping, that you ask questions and people will be there to answer. This game is so broad. So I wish I would have went to the Reddit first and asked more questions. Don't be shy about it. This community's here to help. I wish I would have started watching like Spartan or JP, Greeny, Crowbar Zero, watched some of their videos earlier, and really taken notes on this game, read the wiki, and done a lot more research. In the time, like when you're running this game, it can run idly. Let's say like for me, I've got it running on my iPad. Well, I can be on my phone or computer doing research on it. I can have it running on my phone, go to my computer, do research on it. Go to the Reddit, ask questions, and learn. So that's something that I regret that I wish I would have done earlier. My third regret is spending medals on stones and gems. So the event gives you medals, roughly with the event boost, it's like 1,900 medals. And it's a pretty good amount, but if you're always spending like 150, 200, 300 on gems and stones, you're really going to set yourself back because these bots get so pricey, so pricey. I'm not upgrading this because it's in sync with my GT and Death Wave, but as you see, like now maybe I'm able to afford one of these new levels each tournament or each Event mission, you know, I'll get the relics if I don't have them already. This one I already had because this is a repeat event. I already had these, so all my medals could go into the bots. But yeah, don't spend your currencies on gems or medals unless you need an emergency respec and you don't have the gems, or if you're like going into a tournament and you're like 30 or less stones away from getting a certain upgrade, then sure, yeah, do it as a one-off. But don't go in planning on always buying 2 of these, which is what I did for the first few months, and I wish to God that I didn't do it. In the beginning, it's maybe a little bit more acceptable because, you know, the first upgrades on some of your ultimate weapons are like 5 and 10 stones. So sure, yeah, like that can help. But after the upgrades start being like 50, 60, 70 stones, don't even touch these. Tournaments are going to be the main focus to getting stones besides stone packs. Fourth regret that I have is I got permanent poison swamp just for my mythic harmony conductor. I had a mythic magnetic hook, and that was all I had as my core modules mythic. So yes, I did get some inner landmines upgrades. Doesn't really help because the inner landmines are inside. Magnetic hook shoots them at it. So yeah, it did help with the stuns with the upgrade. But I figured, hey, I'm going to run with my Harmony Conductor because it's also mythic. It'll be a little bit better. I tested it at base with just base Poison Swamp, and I actually found I was getting like 300 or 400 waves higher. So getting it permanent did help me farm a little bit higher, but it was also like 1,800 stones. And yes, Poison Swamp does a decent amount of damage, but in tournament without the perk that it's extra size, of course, it's really not that good. But let me show you my damage here from Poison Swamp. Swamp damage, 2.6. So it's a lot. It is a lot. But if you look at black hole damage, it's way more. Is there chain lightning damage? Yeah, chain lightning damage is way more. So Poison Swamp damage is not even really worth it. Poison Swamp is a late game upgrade, so don't just like force certain stone upgrades that are going to be super expensive if it's just for a module, because chances are you'll get a better module. It does work to an extent. However, making like maybe getting a few clicks into each, but not really investing just for a module, because Poison Swamp's one of those you have to take all the way to the end. My fifth regret is I put too many stones into GT Plus prematurely. I did it because I rushed my 7th and 8th ultimates, which was Chrono Field and Smart Missiles, and I didn't put any single upgrades into those. Didn't start any of the labs. I just rushed them. And then I put all my stones for like 2 months into GT Plus, which yes, it did help my farming, help my econ, and yes, it does help in tournaments because you get more cash. However, those 4, 5, 6,000 stones would have been spent better towards getting permanent Chrono Field, maybe getting a little bit more chain lightning damage, getting inner landmine more quantity and more cooldown, so I get more crowd control in tournaments. There's many other things that I could have invested in, but I jumped too prematurely in GT Plus. So while yes, GT Plus is very important, rather than taking it to 11 like I did, I regret taking it that far. I wish I would have done like 5 or 6, because then I still would have been able to afford my masteries, and I would have been able to work on Chrono Field earlier, which would have helped tournament performance. And tournaments are really the priority, because the better you do in tournaments means the more stones you get organically. So it's that much more important for tournament performance. So don't get too fixated on GT Plus getting maxed out early. My next regret, number 6, is not doing lab speed earlier. I got lab speed to like 50, then I stayed on it. And I was doing lots of EHP, like wall health, wall regen labs, wall fortifications. Those start getting pretty lengthy. And the longer the labs are, typically means the more valuable they are for your tower. Like Shatter Shards takes years or over a year, the full thing, because it's so damn valuable. So yes, like it does help getting lab speed early so you can get those labs quick. But like lab speed, I wish I would have in the beginning gotten a few levels of it, but then once the labs started taking like over a day with the 3x or 2x boost, just doing it permanently, like Spartan, like a lot of people do, to get it up to a very high level. Because now, like if I show you an example, I stopped upgrading a lot of my mastery labs just because they're going to take like 28 days. Like look at this. Oh, now it's 22 days. Now this is 15 days. Like this, I'm pretty sure it was 27 or 28 when my lab speed was at like level 55. But just because I got that lab speed higher, it takes off time off all the labs. So by focusing on lab speed, you inadvertently slightly complete all your other labs. Now, it does make sense, like I've mentioned in my past videos, to stop lab speed at times. As you see, it's a very long lab. But like, I stopped a lab speed level because it was going to take 10 days with no speed ups. But in that same amount of time, I was able to get chrono field range from 0 to level like 5 or 10 in that same amount of time. So depending on like tournaments, it's more valuable to get 5 levels of the first unlock research of an ultimate weapon rather than doing just a 2% increase in your lab speed. So yes, there is a trade-off, but I really regret not working on lab speed earlier. So my plan now is get this finished out, and when this gets like higher still, I'm going to start working on some module labs after this, like recovery package, cash mastery, enemy balance for the extra reroll shards, but also I'm going to start working on some module bans. These all take a long time, so getting my lab speed up higher, that certainly does help. And quick side note, I'm saving up my gems to gem rush this sucker, shatter shards. It's more economically, it makes more sense. Rather than putting your gems into modules, it makes sense to get your shatter shards because you'll make more in the long run. My regret number 7 is not focusing on damage much more. I did get most of my EHP labs about half done. Like if I show you here, all my wall stuff's roughly half done. All like level 11 out of, I think, well, this is 20. Wall regens at 12 of 30. I've got wall health almost maxed out, but then like my normal health labs, like health regen, those are at about 49.50. Defense, you want to get to 23, because when you max out the perk wave or perk bonus, you can get it to 98% in run. I focused a bit too much on, I would say, I still kept focused on the EHP when I was in Legends, and it doesn't really make any sense, because when you get to Legends, as much as I love EHP and love wall, I know I talk all the time about, I want to max out my wall labs, which I do plan on doing at some time. Just damage is that much more important. So when I got to Champions and I already had good EHP, I wish I would have started focusing more on hybrid and getting more damage, and I would have moved up quicker in the tournaments and then been able to stay in Legends sooner. Damage is king. Damage, attack speed. Your offense is king when you get to Legends. So I wish I would have focused on that earlier. My 8th regret is I unlocked the wall prematurely. I unlocked the wall when I could unlock it, which I think is 500 million. And you should unlock the wall until you're making like 100 to 200 billion a day. I made a video on that. Because the wall is more a nuisance. It's a hindrance when you first unlock it, because the enemies will pile up and then they'll shotgun you and can just tear through your thorns, all your defenses. And because of that, it really just doesn't make sense. You need to be able to unlock your wall and immediately have at least 3 labs going. Wall thorns, wall regen, and preferably like wall health, wall invincibility a couple levels, things like that, as that's going to help much more and get your wall feasible. And with how quick the wall labs are, you're able to get it feasible in like a day or 2 if you have 3x speed on your boosts here with cells, and you've also got decent lab speed. So I regret unlocking the wall so early because it was definitely a hindrance on my tower. And the last regret that I have is I wish I would have joined a guild earlier. I tried making my own guild. I was kind of Steven Glansberg. I was in there with myself, a few of my business people that work with me and for me, and then a couple of friends, and we weren't getting all the upgrades. And the ways that you progress in this game, like if you check out Greeny, Crowbar Zero, JP978, JPlays, Spartan, you'll notice their multiplier here is very high. I've even seen free-to-play players with super high coin bonuses here, because every event you're getting these tower relics or skins or whatnot. And then even more importantly now, because you get more of them, is in the guilds you get all these skins. They're all new pretty much. There hasn't been a repeat yet. You get all these here, and those are just increased multipliers to your coins. And it's not like a 0.6% increase. It's a 0.6% increase here, like on themes or relics or enhancement. Well, not enhancements, that's separate. But it all adds up over time. So getting into a good guild and making sure the guild's maxing out all their rewards is drastically going to speed up your progress. I notice my coins they naturally go up every week over week, because I get more and more of those skins unlocked. Those are all passive, and they all help the tournament. And for the first month of a guild, I was just barely getting, me and my friends, the first unlock. Barely was able to get anything, left a lot of stuff on the table, and I regret that. I wish I would have joined a guild sooner. And guilds, they have a good system for finding and joining guilds. So don't be shy. There's a tool to look, find, join guilds. Join my live streams, ask about it. Join Spartan's Discord, Jay Plays, Ethan DX, all those guys I'm pretty sure have Discords. They've got different guilds in there. They've got spots opening, Crowbar, Greenie, you name it. So if you want to join a guild, there are ways out there, and I wish I would have put more effort into that earlier. But yeah, comment your biggest regret. I want this video to be instructive to players at all levels of the game, but mostly to beginner players. If you have any questions on like stuff when you're a beginner player, what to upgrade, what to not upgrade, should I do this? Go to Reddit, ask it. You can even message me on my Reddit, or ask it on my live streams or any other tower creators live streams. The best way to join, or the best way to learn, which I would have also wished I'd done earlier, like I said, is used more of the resources, jumped on lives more, gone to the Reddit more. So ask any questions, comment your biggest regret. Hopefully this video is very instructive. And with that being said, thanks for watching and have a great rest of your day. And happy Thanksgiving. Peace.